and welcome to episode 12 of the She.Must.Knit podcast. My name is Erin, and thank you so much for spending some of your time with me today. How have you guys been? I hope you had a great week. I had a really good week, a busy week. Last time I was telling you how I was about ready to go up to Kawartha and vend at the first Kawartha Fiber Fest, and I did. And it was a really nice show. It was much different than some of the other ones I did. It was a little bit quieter, but still a really, really great show. And sometimes that's really nice because, like, the Toronto Knitters Frolic that I do every April is crazy. And you barely have time to breathe. I usually don't have time to eat. It's just go, go, go right to the end. And this one was really busy in the morning, but then there was time in the afternoon to talk to other vendors and to have good chats with my customers, and I got to eat lunch. What a novelty that was. So it was a really, really pleasant show. And I've already put in my application for next year, so we'll see how that goes. But last week I was saying how I was really looking forward to the show being over because now I have a break until my next one in August. And I was going to have knitting time again, and I forgot that after the show there's just so much to do. There's all this show aftermath that I have to deal with, and I have to take pictures of everything that comes home with me, and I have to put them online, and I have to put up the description, and I have to put everything away, and I had club shipments this week. I have the last of my club shipments that will be going out tomorrow, and then that will be done. And all of a sudden it's the end of the week, and I'm like, where did my knitting time go? So I do have a little bit to share with you this week. It's not as much as I was hoping. I was really hoping to have a finished object for you. I don't, but it's almost finished. But I still think I have some fun things. So yeah, let's get started. What do I have? I have progress on a project that you haven't seen in a week or two. I have a new project that I'm going to be casting on soon, and I'm so excited. I wasn't planning on doing this, but then a test knit came up, and it just sucked me right in. So I'm going to share that with you. And then I have my collection this week, and you guys, oh my god, I love the collection this week. I'm so excited to show you the collection, and I did something new with it this week too. So be sure to stay till the end to see this week's collection because I did something new and I think it's really, really cool. So let's start with my work in progress, what I've been working on. Alright, so I'm going to take a quick sip. I'm already feeling a little dry. It's very warm today. I've got my iced tea again. This is just some flavored, I think it's like a melon lemonade tea or something. Popped it in some water. It actually does taste like lemonade in tea form. It's very strange, but anyway, that's what I got. Yeah, and we're going to start with what I was working on this week. So the only thing I was able to knit on this week was my Fuzzy Mitten mystery knit along, which is no longer a mystery. I said last time how even though there were suspicions going in around the group because, again, this was a mystery knit along, so every week for a couple of weeks there was clues put out. And actually you can see this little one right here. That was clue 1 and 2, so it was a little fairy. And there was all these speculations going in the group what the, that was the companion toy, and then there was the main toy. And there was guesses going around that the main toy was going to be a unicorn. And then I got to the body, and then we had a whole kafoo with the body, and if you remember that, I'll mention that again in case there's any new viewers, but there was a whole kafoo with the body, and I had to redo it, and I didn't have time to redo it because I had to do show prep. And now the final pattern is out, and I had said the last time we were talking about this that I was going to now try not to go into the group because I wanted to just do the pattern and find out what the main toy was myself. Well, that didn't work. Now, I did not go into the group. I was being very good. However, because the knit along ended, the designer put out an update for the pattern, which you automatically get an email for, and so I saw this email and it said right in the title what the pattern was called, and it basically said like unicorn and friend or something. I was like, oh, it's a unicorn, but anyway, that's what everybody thought it was. So I went in to redoing the body knowing now that it was a unicorn, and I've seen the picture. I'm not going to post the picture right now. I'm not going to put a picture of the finished unicorn in this episode. I think I'm going to wait until I finish mine, and then I'll show you my finished unicorn, and then put the picture of the pattern up at the same time, so we can compare how they turned out, because everybody's toys turned out differently. You know, everybody puts their own spin and their own personality in. So yeah, the body. Now, if you remember, I had done the body before. I had been keeping up with it, and I did the body, and then we had an incident. And if you are a new viewer, the incident was that my cat, who is named Mr. Trouble because he's just a bucket of trouble, kept stealing my body, well, not my body, kept stealing the body of the toy, and basically made it unusable, because I had been thinking about giving this as a gift. And I have the original here with me. This is it. This is the state that it's in right now. So this was the body, and it is now his toy. It is his, we play this little game now, you know, he'll bring it upstairs, and then I'll find it upstairs, and I'll bring it downstairs, and I'll put it on, you know, a table down here, and then he'll find it, and he'll bring it upstairs, and I'll bring it downstairs, and so on and so on. But yes, this is his. So I had to totally redo this, because this was obviously not usable. And I did do that, and I got a little farther. Like I said, I was really hoping to finish it this week, but it just didn't happen. But I got a little farther. So here's the new body, and look, it's all fresh and clean and not filthy and pulled and gross. Anyway. So I finished the new body, and you can see I got the little arms done, and then I did the little tail too, so it's got the little tail. Now I've left part of the tail undone because I wanted to show you this. I thought this was kind of neat. What the designer has you do is you use yarn scraps. Now I think in her pattern she uses a whole bunch of different colors to do the mane and the tail, so it's like a rainbow, and she uses scraps. I'm trying to just use yarn in my stash this year, so I went through and tried to find something with a bunch of different colors because I didn't want to go into multiple skeins to get a rainbow look. And I found this in my stash. I made Avery, actually I think I've made a few things. I made her a pair of pants with this, and I might have made something else as well, but this is all I have left. And it's got all kinds of colors in it, so I thought, hey, this will work. And so what the designer has you do is cut a bunch of lengths of your mane and tail yarn and thread it through the tail, like there. You can see it going there. And then you kind of go through and unravel the individual plies. So here is where it is the way it normally comes in the skein, and then this side is where it's been unraveled, and it gives it a whole different look. Like, it's, I find it interesting, like this is the same amount of strands here, but it just looks so much fluffier and more like hair-like or mane-like than just the yarn strands. So I'm going to do the same thing to this side, and then what she has you do is do a little over, like a little knot, and secure it. So then I'll do that, and then I'll probably give it a little trim because I don't want it to be this long. So yeah, there will be the tail. And then all I have left, Mr. Trouble has joined us, so I am going to pre-apologize for any shaking. He's coming up on my lap. You know what he wants? He wants this. He sees this. Go take your own. Go, go. Maybe if I throw it here. Go get it. That didn't work. Anyway. So yeah, hopefully next week I will have the head done, and I will have, the mane looks like it's going to be a bit of a bugger because it's a whole bunch of strands that you have to do this with. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really hoping that this will be done next week, and then I'll have some other projects as well. So yeah, that's all I have to say about my progress on the little mystery toy, which is no longer a mystery, but that's fine. And so yeah, now I have my new cast on. Oh, he's taking it! I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I had to run upstairs because the little troublemaker grabbed the new one and he ran upstairs with it. And normally I would just let him go, but the whole point of making the new one was so that it wouldn't be all like gross and chewed on. And he grabbed the new one and went upstairs, so I had to chase him and get it back. It's now safely right here. Hopefully it will be fine and he won't be able to find it there until I can hide it in a better place. Put it in a project bag or something, but oh my gosh, he's so much trouble. Anyway, he's back. He's on the table right now. Hopefully he'll behave. He is in a mood tonight. But anyway, back to the knitting. So, I was mentioning before how I am going to be casting on a new project soon. I wasn't planning on it, but when am I ever planning on a project? Like, they always just hit me. Earlier this week, I was ear burned in Ravelry. I'm still on the list for several designers for test knits, and most of the time I check them out, but I try to be very, very selective nowadays. I used to do a lot of test knits, and now I try to only do ones that I really, really, really love. I just don't have time to do as many as I did, and there's a lot of projects that I want to make that I want to make from my queue and from my books and magazines and stuff. So I don't do as many test knits. But one of my favorite designers, especially for kids knits, put out a test this week, and I went to check it out, and I saw it, and I was like, gotta do it. I gotta do it. So I'm going to put up a picture, and the design is by Stephanie Lotven. You know I love Stephanie Lotven. And her new design, the test is called the Daisy Girl Tee. Now, I don't know if she's going to keep that name. Usually, I think she does keep the names that she puts under the test knit. So, the Daisy Girl Tee. And I saw this picture, and I was just like, this has Avery written all over it. I've really slowed down with my garment knitting for Avery. I found this very interesting because I like in my Ravelry projects, I always tag any project with the current year. And then if you tag your projects, you can make tabs above your project, like the main page of your project page. There'll be little tabs. So I have tabs with all the years. And so if I click on one of those years, it will show me all the projects that I did in that year. So just for fun, I decided to go back and just see how many projects or how many garments that I've been making for her over the past years, because I think it was in the last episode when I was talking about garments and how I was saying that I didn't even count how many garments I've made for Avery over the years, because there's probably close to 100. Yes, I have made Avery 98 garments over the course of her life, but I went over the last few years because it has felt like I've really slowed down with making her garments. So I think last year I only made her 7 garments, and the year before it was like 12 or 14. The year before it was similar to that, and then the year before that it was like 30-something garments. So I've kind of slowed down, and part of that is just her interests are changing. She's getting more of a defined sense of her own style. There's things that she likes, and there's things, she's actually pretty easygoing, but there's definitely things that she will gravitate towards more in her wardrobe, and I just feel like there's no sense making her something if it's just going to sit in her closet. And then also, because she's bigger now, it used to be that I could make her a sweater with like 1 skein of yarn, maybe 2 skeins of yarn, and if you're looking at like indie dyed yarn, that's maybe $20, $40. Well, now she's getting to where, I might need 3 skeins of yarn or 4 skeins of yarn, and for a 6-year-old, that's just, I'm not interested in paying that much for a 6-year-old. So I tend to make her things now with more acrylics and acrylic blends. But if I can use stash, then great. And so back to the test knit, when I was looking at the test knit and looking at the picture and just the style of it, I could totally see Avery wearing with just like all her leggings and stuff like that. And then the colors, the color of the actual sample, I was very close to making one in those colors. I had yarn very close to those colors, but I wanted to do something different. And then also, when I looked at the yarn quantities, it's another one. Do you remember when I was doing the sock arms? And I was saying how you could go up to a fairly large children's size with 1 skein of yarn for the body, and then, half a skein for the arms. And it is the same thing with this pattern. I think I looked, and you can probably, if you have sock yarn that has at least 450, 460 yards, like some of the lighter weight 75-25 blends, you can go up to a size 8 with 1 skein of sock yarn for the body, and then like half a skein for the accent, and then, like a mini skein for the little stripy accents. So I was like, perfect, this is right up my alley because I can use stash. Surely something in my stash will work in colors that she likes. If you ask her what colors she likes, it's always pink, purple, and then all the other colors of the rainbow. Basically, she won't tell you that she dislikes any color, but it's pink, purple, and then she'll start naming off all these other colors. And so I found something. I found something that I'm actually really, really excited to use in my stash, and I think it's going to make a really, really cute garment for her. So you're saying, just show us already. Okay. So I've had this in my stash for at least 2 years, And I got this, I think it was 2 years ago on the yarn crawl that I was doing. We have a local yarn crawl. And look at this. It's gray, but look at all those colors. So this is from Spunwear Over the Rainbow. Spunwear Over the Rainbow. And it's basically like one of those skeins that's mostly gray, and then it's got all these like pops of all the rainbow colors. And I think this will knit up mostly gray, like a gray background, but then you'll get like these little blips and lines and stuff of the rainbow colors. And I think that will actually work out really well for her. And then, so I found for the upper part of the tee, where it's like your contrast color, I found 3 minis in my stash that I'm kind of going to do like a gradient or like a fade with. And it is these 3. And I think I'm going to do it in this order so that the brighter pink is up near her face, and then going down towards the lighter pink, and then the gray yarn will be down here. But yeah, so I found these in my stash. These 2 were from a Studio Lou mini set that I bought at the Frolic, I think, last year. So these were from that. And then this is just a mini that I found in my mini pile. And yeah, see, it's got those little flecks in it, and I think that will, see, that will pull out the greens and yellows that are in this. I think this is going to look really, really pretty. So that's going to be the top of the tee. And then I needed a color to do that little pattern stitches that goes through the contrast color. And I looked and I looked and I looked, and I couldn't find anything. I had in my mind that I really wanted like a bright, vibrant purple to kind of pop off of that pink. Plus her favorite colors are pink and purple. And so I decided when I was doing the dyeing for the collection this week that I would just throw a mini in there and dye one. And so that's what I did. And so I dyed this to go with these for the bodice, and then that for the body. And I think it's going to look really fun because there is purple. There's that bluish purple right there. So I think it will pick up on that. But I think in my head it's going to turn out really cute. So as soon as I'm done, actually I don't even know if as soon as I'm done the toy, I might even cast this on. I might be naughty and cast this on before I'm done the toy, but we'll see. I don't think I have a lot left to do on the toy. I just have the head, the ears, and the horn, and then the mane. So we'll see how this weekend goes. But this is what I'm going to be casting on soon, and I cannot wait. I think this is going to be a really, really great pattern for girls and just gift knits even, because it just uses like one main skein, and then you can just go through like your scraps and your leftovers to do the other ones. So I think if you have girls in your life, this is a pattern to watch out for. I will of course be showing my progress, and I will of course let you know when it is released. So yes, that's what I'm going to be casting on. And then all that's left is the collection and this week's vote. Okay, he's back on the table, and again, like last week, he's lying on this collection. He has a thing with lying on my fabrics. I am constantly finding, I have to be very careful where I put my work when I'm doing sewing and stuff, because he will find them. He will find my fabric piles, he will find my bags, and he will just make a little nest on them. And he's so cute, but it drives me crazy. Anyway, so last week the vote was between Mike and Sully and Scooby-Doo, the Mystery Machine. And Scooby-Doo won. And I was secretly happy that Scooby-Doo won because, I don't know, on Netflix, they took it off Netflix. That was really upsetting. Netflix, bring back Scooby-Doo. They had the whole new series, Scooby-Doo, Be Cool Scooby-Doo. And we would watch that with Avery, and she'd watch it over and over again, and they were actually quite clever and very enjoyable. And now they're not on Netflix anymore. But I was secretly happy that Scooby-Doo won because A, I really love the colors, and then B, I got this idea. And I can't wait to show you how this turned out. So, sorry, cat. Okay, yeah, okay, I got them. So here are the bags for the Scooby-Doo collection. I ended up doing 3 of the deluxe style and the wee sidekick, and then 1 of my regular little squishy pouch. So these are the bags. Isn't that fun? I love these colors. I love that all of these I was able to pull from my my scrap section. I just think they go so well. I love the coordinating fabrics I found. The inside is that there. So I have 3 of these bags, and then like I said, I have 1 of just the regular squishy pouch it's great for traveling, so I have 1 of these. And then the yarn. Okay, I'm going to start with the more regular stuff and then go to the exciting thing. So the more regular stuff. I was able to do one sock set. I think I mentioned last week, because I was doing so much dyeing for the Kawartha show, I am almost out of my bare yarn. I have to do an order very, very soon. So I didn't do as much. But I have one sock set. So this is the sock set. I'm going to call this one Mystery Machine. So it's got all of those colors in there. And then I did the kind of the teal. It's like a greeny aqua mini. So that's the sock set. I did one sock blank. Here's the sock blank here. I really like how this turned out too. I think these are going to make really cool socks. So this is the sock blank. And then, this is the most fun part, I think anyway. I did something totally new. Now, I've got it all packaged up, so it might crinkle. But I will be sure to pop a picture in with them outside of the bag so that you can really see them properly. But I did a character mini skein set. Check this out. Oh, I really love how this turned out. So this is a mini skein set with all the characters. So we've got Scooby over here and Shaggy, and then Fred and Velma, Daphne, and then this is the skein of the Mystery Machine skein or color. But then I also did something extra, and I think this is the best part. Can you see that? It's a little Scooby progress keeper. So when I do my bag clubs, I do these clay, handmade, I make them clay progress keepers, and I have a lot of fun with them. Sometimes they can be a little challenging because people ask for crazy things, but I do have fun with them. So I decided to do a little Scooby-Doo one as part of this set. Now, I only have one of these. I only had enough mini skeins to do one set, but I think what I'm going to do is put a listing up as for a pre-order set as well, just in case there's more than one of you out there who are interested in the mini skein set, and we'll just see how that goes. And then for the vote this week, I have some fabrics this week, and we are going to have a battle of the second place winners. So from previous weeks, there had been some fabrics that were lost by a very, one vote. And so I've brought two of those back, and they are going to go head to head against each other. And Mr. Trouble is sitting on them. He's going to be so mad at me at the end of this. Here, go on. So the battle this week is between. Oh, he's grabbing my sock blank. Oh my God! He's in a mood. Anyway, so the battle this week is between this fabric here. Do you remember this one? So many of you guys love this one. This is the moths and the butterflies and the pretty colors. I love these colors. I really, really would like to see how these turn out dyeing yarn with those. So the moths and butterflies, that is the first choice. And they are going up against Woodland Creatures. So this is another one where I think it lost by one vote. I think it lost to the Sloths. And so this is your second choice for the vote this week. So this week, moths or Woodland Creatures, comment below. Remember, any comment and any orders from my shop go towards entries towards a gift certificate that I draw from each month. And yeah, that's everything for this week. So not as much knitting, but lots and lots of work this week. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend coming up and you get to make everything you want to make and get all the knitting that you want to get done. I am hoping for a really, really good knitting weekend. We will see. And that's all for this week. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.